famous machlekes, we know, a famous dispute among the Medrash and the Zohar on that level. Also Rashi and the Ramban. Rashi says one way, Ramban says the other way. We're starting to read now Parshas Terumah, Parshas Tetzaveh, all the commandments, how HaKadosh Baruch Hu instructed Moshe Rabbeinu how to build the Mishkan, how to build all the vessels that were necessary for the Mishkan, the entire structure. And the question is, when did this happen, chronologically, historically? When did this happen? Did it happen as it's written in the Chumash? There was Parshas Yisro, there was Matan Torah. Hashem already gave part of the mitzvahs, the whole entire Parshas Mishpatim, and then right away Hashem said, by the way, I want you to build a Mishkan, and here are the instructions how to build a Mishkan. Did it happen that way? The Zohar seems to take that path, and the Ramban seems to go with that opinion. But we know Rashi famously says, and it's the opinion of the Medrash, that the commandment to build a Mishkan did not happen until the Chet HaEgel, until the Jews sinned, once the Jews sinned with the golden calf. And then they did tshuva after that as part of their atonement, as part of the kapara on the Chet HaEgel. So Hashem said, now you're going to build a Mishkan. Oh, you'll tell me that the parsha doesn't say anything about the Chet HaEgel yet. It's in 3 parshas, in Parshas Kisisa. The Torah is not written in order. So even though the commandment to build a Mishkan is written now in Parshas Terumah, it really happened much later after Parshas Kisisa. Shem Shmuel brings these two opinions, and he brings a very beautiful explanation to understand what exactly are they arguing about these two opinions. Obviously, there's a question of history, how it happened, but there's something deeper going on here. And the Shem Shmuel says as follows. We find throughout the words of Chazal, throughout different Midrashim and Gemaras, we find that something miraculously happened in the Beis HaMikdash, in the Mishkan. There was something miraculous about not only what happened there with the karbanos and the fire and everything that was going on, but the actual structure had miracle-life characteristics. For example, we know that there's if one tries to pick up dead weight, it's much harder than picking up a person. A person is alive when a person weighing 100 pounds, or a dead weight of 100 pounds is complete. It's much harder to pick up dead weight. Why? Because a live person, it's easier to carry him. Even an animal, to a certain extent, it's much easier to carry the weight of a living person than to carry dead weight. Interestingly enough, we know that the Chazal tells, Aron Noisias Noisa. That means that the Aron HaKodesh had the quality that when the Kohanim, who were the Leviim, who were in charge of carrying the Aron from one place to another, they practically didn't have to do anything. Not only that, but the Aron itself raised up those who were carrying it. We don't even understand that, but in some sort of miraculous way, the Aron carried those who were carrying it. The Shem Shmuel says this is not just some random miracle. This miracle showed that there's some lifelike character to the inanimate object that we call the Aron. It was built with gold and wood, and it was put all together, and then all of a sudden it's like alive. It's alive in a certain way. Another example, we know also a Gemara that obviously requires lots of explanation and introspection, but the Gemara says that when Titus Harasha, the Roman warrior who came in to actually destroy the Beis HaMikdash, when he came to the Beis HaMikdash, he took a knife and he stabbed the curtain, the parechs, he stabbed the parechs, and blood came out. The Gemara says blood came out, and he started saying something, I vanquished your God. But okay, we have to understand what was the symbolism of the blood and everything. But again, we see some sort of lifelike, something lifelike about the inanimate object, that the curtain, blood comes out of it. It carries itself. And the Shem Shmuel brings several other examples which all point to this idea that the Mishkan and the vessels of the Mishkan had some sort of lifelike quality to it. Shem Shmuel explains as follows. A person is made up of a body and a soul. A body without a soul is nothing. It's not alive. What gives the body life? Okay, medically, the blood flow and all the organs working in the proper way give the body the life. We call that the nefesh, the neshama on a spiritual level. But there is some sort of lifelike quality within a person that gives the dead body life. What gives a dead wall, a dead piece of gold? What gives that life? Shem Shmuel says, astoundingly, Shem Shmuel says, the fact that the Yidden came with such enthusiasm, with such love to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to build the Mishkan, and they gave the gold and they gave the silver, it wasn't just a gift. in that gift was infused the love of Klal Yisrael towards HaKadosh Baruch Hu and towards what Hashem wanted, and towards the goal of building a place that would be the Hashras HaShechina, where Hashem's presence, so to speak, rested and dwelled in that place. That love infused those inanimate objects with life, and it became lifelike. And that's what was able to give even the Aron. The ark was able to give the ark this quality, that was able to be lifelike, was able to raise, it was able to live in a certain way, in a certain aspect. Now the question is, says Shem Shmuel, coming back to our original discussion, when did the commandment of building the Mishkan happen? Did it come from Hashem to Moshe Rabbeinu right after Matan Torah, or did it come after the Egel? The argument is, obviously it's a historical argument, but besides that, the argument is as follows. How can we what created this amazing love? To such a level that it infused an inanimate object with life. Says the first opinion, which is the opinion of the Zohar and the Ramban and others, that the Matan Torah alone, the giving of the Torah, was such a profound effect on Klal Yisrael that they were able to immediately infuse the Mishkan by giving from their own voluntarily their own silver, their gold, and their craftsmanship that they put in and they invested into the building of the Mishkan. That was enough. The other opinion, the opinion of the Medrash and Rashi, say no, that wouldn't have been enough. It needed to be a higher level of enthusiasm and higher level of love. That love comes from doing tshuva. After a mistake was made, after a terrible mistake was made, the golden calf, the Egel Azav, after they even were able to do tshuva, the tshuva brought them to such a level of love and feeling of closeness to HaKadosh Baruch Hu that they were able to infuse the Mishkan with life only after that. In any case, whether the first opinion or the second opinion, what we see from here, we can take a lesson of how much power a Jew has by not just doing a mitzvah, but doing it with love and doing it with enthusiasm. It can literally infuse life into a building, into material. It can infuse real life, and this love is something tangible, something that can really create something profound. With the power that every Jew has when he does a mitzvah, when he does it with enthusiasm, he does it with slavos, how much it can create and what levels it can reach. Have a wonderful Shabbos. Please don't forget to subscribe. You'll get the video every week by subscribing. Put a like. Thank you very much. Good Shabbos.